Okay, we're going to finish up Albuquerque. Again, my goal has been to get All Star Squadrons. We were there for a conference. Um, yeah, so I found a bookstore called Dawn's, and it's been there in Albuquerque uh, for probably over 50 years. Most people who know of it are like, oh, yeah, Dawn's. It's a used bookstore. And um, so sometimes you can find some comics in there. So I always tend to take a look. Plus, I love pulp books. Um, so we went in, and Don's actually got a comic shop in there. He gets new. They get new books. I think it's his daughter that pretty much runs the show, um, or does a lot of the work there. Don's definitely gotten up there. I think if I recall right, said he was 93 or something. So, but they have old books too. They're kind of hidden a little bit. They try to keep them out, but there's only so much room. It is a bookstore for the most part, but they keep new books on one wall, and then underneath they have on the other side, underneath they have a bunch of boxes, and where they keep a selection out. And so I went in, and they were wonderful, wonderful, and she went back and I told her what I was looking for, and she went back and pulled out everything that she had, which was awesome. And I went ahead and just took it all. I was like, okay, no, yeah, well, I'm good. And which might have surprised her, but it's cool. They were wonderful. They met Roy at when he was there, Roy Thomas, when he was there in Albuquerque for a conference. So I'll show you what I got, and we'll kind of go from there. Um, Number one, again, that is a key. There was two, so I took them both. Um, and then most of the rest of the keys are not in here. So there's only like three. The Todd McFarlane cover that I showed previously, that's considered a key. Um, a number uh, three, and then I got number five, of which there are four copies of. So that's awesome. A number six, again with four copies. Another way, I guess, four copies of it. So that's awesome. Um, the hard thing with like these are usually inexpensive. I don't think much of these were more than $3. Uh, three, three, yeah, three. Um, they're usually about $3 to $4. Um, five isn't too bad. Keys are more for sure. But the interesting thing on these is that these earlier issues, again, number was a six or no eight, um, and some of these are just great, great Kubert covers, and then later on, Ordway covers, right, Jerry? Uh, so that's number 10. There's only one of that. Um, a couple of 11s. So, um, and some newsstand, right? So it's a newsstand. And then I think this one was a non newsstand, direct edition. Uh, but one of the things with collecting All Star Squadron and actually just going after a bunch of them is that you find out that those early ones are everyone's got them. And again, they're usually dollar books, sometimes as much as $3 or $4, but just they're not very much. Number 13, only one of that. As you get farther, so past 30, they become rarer or harder to find. And by the 50s, they're really hard. You just don't find very many of them. Um, and then, so this is, We have a direct edition also. This DC was doing these floating heads things for the anytime there was a team up in the Justice League or again in the All Star Squadron, and they're just such an awesome idea, and I just so nostalgic. That was 14, 16, 2 again. Um, and I believe you can find some Mark Jewelers of these. And if you don't know what that is, that's where there's an insert um, inside because it went to military bases. And so there's two of these. Those don't happen on direct edition. They were all newsstands. To my knowledge, that's the only way they came. So you can. There are some. I have some. There's also some of these you can get in uh, UK editions, Canadian editions, right? And those are always newsstands. So it's pretty cool. Now we're up to 20s, so this is 21. And I got like three of these. So awesome. And then some 22s. So this is where some keys would happen between 22. First appearance of Infinity Inc. That's considered a key. And the first appearance of Amazing Man happens 23, I think, and then Infinity is 25. But then there's 26, and Infinity's in this. These were I got three of them, so one newsstand and then two. Again, this was all Don's bookstore, uh, and this is going to really like complete a lot of the earlier issues for me for my 5 sets. So that's great. This has the other way around. So again, these were all newsstand or direct of number 27. We're going to start to get to the rare, the less out there. This is 28. And then I have, again, this is these wonderful Ordway covers, bringing back all those golden age. So there's some newsstand and a direct, and then another newsstand. There were three of these. Yeah, and I know comic haul videos you don't normally see like what genuinely people buy. Like you see when they go and get weekly things from their regular local comic shop, which I still do. But this is more my hope is to show like the reality of collecting. If you collect for what you love, that's all that matters, man. Seriously, it's a piece of paper. This is the kid's play toy, right? Like these were meant to escapism, and it's wonderful. Uh, so yeah, and it's why I love to share these as I get them. So that was 32, and then there's a 33 or 34, um, and then uh, 35. And again, this is where they've thinned out. There's less and less of these. Um, they become harder to find. 59. This is right up near the end of the series, so those become the harder ones to find. Um, Annual number one. These are they're both direct editions. Yeah, so they're both direct edition. They don't have a barcode, but also they have both prices up here, right? So the Canadian and the U.S. in both cases, and that's the way you can tell that they're direct. The newsstand one would have the barcode, but it would also just have the U.S. price, and the Canadian variant would be newsstand with a barcode and just that. Um, and then which one is this? Number 3 in the classic, DC Bullet pattern for their annuals, which was just reminiscent of the 80s. So yeah, those are my comic calls from Albuquerque. For the most part, I hit as many stores as I could, and I cleaned out their All Star Squadron. And also, by doing that, I hopefully have my at least the early issues of my 5 set to go until I give away what I got and go looking for more. All right, and we'll see what comes next.